All right. So, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, future archaeologists, aliens who've enslaved human society and dug up my hard drive. Probably had to reassemble some bits, but you got it working. This is the Crystal Tomb. I am kcStranger. These are three of my players. We will be joined by a Braveshine hopefully later. So, last session, we were pretty much just in this combat, so I'm going to let the introduction from last time stand for this one as well. And we're just going to get right into it. So, I believe that what we're going to do here... let me see. Yeah, so it is Fabrizio's turn, and so that is 70 feet. He has a really high fly speed, I've realized. So he's going to fly all the way over
He's
here.
a speedy boy.
And he is going to swoop down on Prismiligus, and I'm going to give you a little Cure Wounds action. Unfortunately, I believe this is just at first level. Yeah,
So
like
fucking useless.
That being said,
I'm sorry, Fabrizio. I didn't mean to insult you.
And he got a min roll. That said, quiz. You recover 5 hit points.
Alright.
So is Quiz right there stuck in the corner inside the bubble?
Yeah, pretty much.
I see a dude here.
Yeah,
Is that
so,
Quiz?
Yep.
Alright.
And then
Good luck, buddy.
Fabrizio is going to retreat to this point, which will actually be outside the radius, considering that the creature is floating a bit. All right. And let me see. Did I have... I think I used all the legendary actions. So, if I didn't, then oh well. Although... Oh, yeah, that's why I put that there. All right, so it is Kyr's turn.
Couple questions, Casey.
Yeah.
So I see a square and a shape here. Does that mean that I make a regular attack roll?
Wait, do you see the creature?
I kind of, yeah. Like, I see that there's a square, and I see, like, I guess a silhouette. I can't very clearly see what the image is supposed to be, but I see it. It's there.
Interesting. What is your... I'm trying to figure out if there's anything that would be illuminating this. So you don't have it on your normal...
I mean, it looks like it's in dim light, is the thing.
Yes, it is in dim light. You can see it. You can attack normally.
Sweet.
Yeah,
okay.
There's this light on the wall, and I realized it happens to be within the range of that.
Okay, so I believe I have a quiver that makes things be on fire. Yes, I do. All of my arrows are fiery, right? So that works.
And Fallon more conveniently conjured some eagles that will even give you that sneak attack.
He's in melee! Oh! Yes, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my nifty +2 arrows.
Oh, shit.
Fire it at this thing.
Alright.
Alright, so this is my short bow. Just add 2 to the roll.
Alright.
Come on.
Yeah, that's good.
Sweet. So I roll damage.
Yep. Okay.
Plus my sneak attack.
Yep.
So many d6s.
Yeah.
What is that roll?
Though.
What is... Wow.
2 6s and 4 1s.
Wow. Okay. And my quiver of fire damage. Wow. 4 6s and 4 1s and 2 6s. And a 6!
Yeah, alright.
What are these damage rolls? +2.
32.
Alright,
so...
Yeah. Streaking bolt of fire
34 damage.
Flies across the area, impaling the creature. who lets out yet another sort of gargling sound. However, it is now the creature's turn. So...
I got things to do.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got bonus actions.
You attacked, you know, that's it.
I get cunning actions.
We're playing fair D&D here.
This is street. This is street rules.
Is the aerosol on fire? Like, is it casting light from the body of this thing now? Just out of curiosity.
No, it's sort of dully burning inside the creature.
This is a whole ass action. Dang it!
Whole ass.
Why can't you make my abilities more fun? I'm limited to 35 feet now, right? To the encumbrance.
Yes, and also remember that if you walk over one of these large patches, it's difficult terrain.
Wait, but hold on. I have a thing, don't I, for that?
I don't think so.
When I use a dash action, difficult terrain doesn't cost me extra movement because it's mobile.
Alright, yeah. Mobile.
Can't stop me, Casey!
Everything.
You can't stop me!
Having a good time.
You know, I'm just gonna go... Actually, no, it's still too far. I'm gonna hide behind this pillar.
Alright.
Just boop.
Yeah.
Willy-nilly.
Yeah. Got my hood up.
Go ahead and give me that stealth check. Which, like,
Heck
I think
yeah.
the lowest you can get is like a 23. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and look, you got a 24. Just had to do one better.
Hey.
Alright,
Yep.
you feel pretty confident about
Feel hidden.
your setup.
Actually, can I activate, No, that's also an action. Dang it,
Turns
You've
on
already
turns on
moved,
turns.
taken an action and a bonus action. I think your turn is over.
I didn't use a bonus yet. I still had a bonus.
Your bonus action was hiding.
Oh, right. You're right. Never mind.
Alright, so it
You're
is
right.
now the creature's turn.
Okay.
I think the creature should kill Kane.
He can't see me.
Could we take a
He doesn't
vote?
know where
I mean, I'm kind of tempted to go for it, actually.
No. Where's the don't hurt me. You've already
wait a
tried
minute.
like 4 times.
I have to roll to see if it gets its things back.
Yeah, do that. Roll that. Kill the quiz. It's fine.
Alright.
Hey,
Hey. I'm a beloved main character on the show. You see, you can't make the fans upset by killing me.
I'm so tempted to just go after you for this, Kane. I really am. And it even... You know what? I'm just gonna do it. Oh wait, no, I can't do it. No, I can't do it now. Alright, never mind. So the first thing that I'm going to do is...
Leave me alone, Casey. I'm hiding.
We are going to attack... I am going to say the eagle to the right of the creature it is going to make an attack against.
There's like 4 eagles, right?
Yeah. I think a 26 is going to hit. Yeah. So we will go ahead and roll damage. Finally hit with that. Wow, that's a low damage roll. That actually fails to kill the eagle. So, okay. It'll hit the eagle so it reaches out with its hand and actually, like, grabs the eagle, and you see life sort of drain from it, but, it's still there. Those of you who can see the creature, as you watch, it seems to sort of flex a little bit and hold itself up a bit straighter, actually. You watch some of the tattered parts of its body start to mend themselves.
No. But it's on fire.
Alright, so next it is going to... You know, I think... yeah, okay. It's gonna attack Quizmilligus.
Wait, is the quiver of fire a homebrew item?
Yeah. Quiz has a 15.
My armor class is 17.
All right, then you dodge as another of those sort of peals of thunder goes off next to you. And then I think it wants to get out of this area.
But why?
So...
Shaka.
Do the eagles get an attack of op?
I was wondering that, but I don't know. I don't. So
they can get an attack of opportunity.
I'm thinking of video games. I don't know. If someone moves past me, do I get an attack of opportunity? I do, don't I?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm thinking.
Yeah, it
of
uses
pillars.
your reaction.
I'm thinking of Pillars of Eternity, I think.
Should it go here?
Or Divinity 2.
I kind of want to get that. It looks fun.
It
It
is.
needs to get further out of that area, actually. All right. I guess it is actually just going to go all the way up to here.
On top of that pillar?
Oh, praise be, I'm out of the blue.
Gosh, it'll take so many attacks of opportunity if it does that. Ugh.
You've activated my trap card.
They're just eagles. How hard can they hit?
You're
I believe Tolkien was before with you.
You know what? I'm going to roll the dice. Fallon, you can have up to 3 attacks with eagles.
Okay.
Also,
can you please remind me how to roll?
Yeah, it's going to be 1d20 plus 5, and one of them has disadvantage. Let's do that one first.
So I roll twice for the disadvantage, right?
Yeah. Okay, that one misses.
Alright. So 2 more?
Uh-huh.
How did we not make a Tolkien joke earlier?
Alright. Okay, you hit with 1, 2d6 plus 3.
Was that both of my attacks? So they attack twice, right?
Well, but they can't multi-attack on an opportunity attack.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 13 damage. Yep.
You really want to keep this guy alive?
The creature has landed on top of the pillar, however. And that...
Go away.
Yeah, that'll end its turn. So, Fallon, it's you.
I'm going to move first. $30 feet.
Alright.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time. And then I am going to attack.
Huh.
Sorry. Again, I'm having a hard time. Talks amongst yourselves.
So, Casey, can I get some cards for the magic items then? At least the ones that aren't like
Cards?
standard ones.
What do you mean cards?
Just like or a little sheet.
Like I think I gave you that before, but I can give it to you again after the session if you need it.
Oh, it's good to me in Discord?
23 will hit.
Sorry.
Okay. Yep.
Is that max?
All right. So your bolt slams into the creature, and there's a spew of gore as it actually flies through the creature, and you can actually see sort of a gaping hole through where its neck must be, as you watch it fly past. And actually, at this point, I'm going to switch the music real quick. Let's put it to this.
I don't have Spotify. I'm tempted to get it just for these sessions.
I'm playing it through the Spotify website.
Yeah.
So if you're changing it, I gotta click the link.
So we will.
Yeah, I can't like sync with what he's listening to without having
that's fine. You need premium for that. It's not a big deal.
I'm tempted though because like it's half the fun.
All right.
Are you just?
So as your bolt flies through the creature emits. It clutches its head in its hands, and it utters a crackling, wailing garble, sort of choked off by what seems to be a hole in its windpipe. So those of you who can see it, which it's going to be most of you, I believe, based on where you're standing, you watch as 7 tentacles burst forth from its back, just beneath the neck. They're standard issue tentacles, if you will. You watch as they wrap the creature's mangled body, cocooning it. You've been communicating telepathically with each other and a little bit with this creature. And actually, wait a minute. I need to do there's a thing for Colleen, but she's not here. So I'm going to just make a perception check for her anyway.
Percept.
Can I perceive as well?
No, it's only Colleen in this case.
Aw.
Okay.
What about Fabrizio?
Oh, you know what? Fabrizio has languages all. So let's see if Fabrizio catches it. Okay. All right. Good call. All right. So you've been communicating telepathically for some time, but the next words that you sort of feel more than anything feel loud and weighty. And what you hear is, "Your work is done, child. You do not need to fight any longer." And you watch as the creature is wrapped tighter and tighter by these tentacles, and they sort of, as it wraps tighter and tighter, it gets smaller and smaller until finally it disappears completely. And we are out of initiative.
Was the tentacles shrunk away too? Everything?
Yep. You now do not see really anything at all, and actually, as a matter of fact, let me even change a couple things about the map real quick. Let me do it like this.
So we're still listening to the same song?
The light comes up in the cavern, in the floor that you're on, just a little bit, and you are left in silence.
I go to check on Quiz and say, "You all right?"
Oh, I'm not too bad now after that heal, but we should maybe take a break before heading into that door. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Are you just landing all the eagles on the pillars?
Yep.
So how long do we have these bird friends here for, Fallon?
What I can't recall. Let me look at my spell card here. I'll tell you. Conjure animals.
Up to an hour.
Yep. Or I'm gonna trust you, I guess I should say.
Yep, it is up to 1 hour. I'm giving you control over all of them. I'm realizing I forgot to do that before. At this point, Fabrizio will chime in inside all of your minds and said, it said something as the creature said something as it was dying. It said, "The way is readied." I'm not quite sure what that means.
Only good things.
Last time.
Yeah, you got the entire thing before. I can
Hi, Brave.
copy it.
Hey, what's going on?
Colleen died.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Actually, they just ended the combat that you guys were in. Actually, so you have now won that combat.
You did miss the tentacles, though.
And Fabrizio just mentioned that as the creature was dying, it said, "The way is ready."
Wait, did it die, or did it just kind of get wrapped up in tentacles?
It disappeared after you dealt a lot of damage to it.
Sprung out, wrapped it up, and then... Yeah.
And so goes my army. Gone forever.
Is there a door here?
Well, should we rest?
I mean, I'm fine.
Can't remember. I know I took some.
Did you get hurt, Quiz?
Well, I just think it's stupid to charge through a door to fight another enemy before we've prepared ourselves.
Well, okay, is there a door is what I asked. Is there a door here?
Yes, we established that last week. It's right here.
Okay, I forgot there was a door. I thought, I forgot we got around all the way.
World.
I mean, if you need to rest, Quiz, we can rest. You know, if you need to.
I am pretty hurt.
Well, you know, if you guys need to rest, then go ahead.
Are we short resting? Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
All right. I'll just
delete the birds.
If you're short resting, then
Can I pet the birds while we rest?
If you want to, if you want to leave them around, I can assume that any normal character interaction stuff is taking place just during the short rest. And then we'll just delete them as soon as you try to go anywhere, basically.
Okay, that's fine.
I want to pet him.
What? I'm so bad at this. How many hit dice can I use?
As many as you have available. Your maximum is based on your level, but there's a spot for it on your character sheet.
Yeah, we got them all back, didn't we?
Probably. You regain half of the maximum, rounded down, when you short rest. When you long rest. So it's one of those things you gotta keep track of whenever you long rest.
Still have my.
If you are under your maximum, then
I'm at my maximum now on my character sheet.
Then it's probably fine.
I don't know if I did it right last time.
Gotcha. Just as you spend them, make sure you're counting it down.
Okay.
And then, like I said, whenever you long rest, you get half back.
Yeah. So Kane picks the bird. Oh, well, I'm pretty much back to full now. Cool.
So just to remind you of a few things that are in this room, there is this altar that I think Kane examined it previously.
Yeah.
I did.
I don't think he really got much out of it, other than, unlike the
Isn't
other
that
ones.
Isn't that the one I got a 20 on?
So you got the 20 on the last one.
Yeah, you got 20 on the last one. I think it was only Kane who's looked at this one. So the only thing Kane got from it was, unlike the ones in the other rooms, he didn't notice a symbol, like a recognizable symbol of the gods on it. There are these 3 10-foot tall stone pillars within the room as well. They don't go all the way up to the ceiling. The ceiling is more like 20 feet. But they do have sort of around their bases engravings on them. And that's about it.
The nerds can figure this out. I'm a
Do I get any spell slots back on the long rest?
On a long rest, you get all your spell slots back. On a short rest,
short
rest.
Okay.
As a ranger.
Some
warlocks. Classes can get stuff back on short rest. But...
Is it a religion check for the altar?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Give me Arcana as well.
Okay.
Fallon's bird. Everyone has their armies.
Okay. Quizmiligus, you examine the altar. There are... I mean, it's roughly as it appears. The central area appears as if, like, something is supposed to be set in it, perhaps. You're not quite sure. You don't notice... as Cain didn't notice anything, you don't notice anything to tie it to a particular god. Cain, interestingly, well, actually, Fallon, you notice much the same thing. You also notice some small runes and then a few lines that are carved in the stone of the altar, sort of radiating from the central bit to the 3 stones on the outside. You imagine it must channel magic of some kind. And Cain, yes, for sure. What? If you were thinking more clearly, you might realize that you should really question any, like, deep conviction that you had about how some magical artifact worked. But you're not questioning yourself. For some reason, you feel pretty confident about this. This clearly is meant to either channel or activate magic of some kind. And dear God, I hate the song.
This thing just make magic go through it. Come on, guys. Here, why don't one of you guys put some magic in it?
A little razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
Define put some magic in it.
I don't know, right. But like I this looks like a thing that you put magic through it. Like it makes magic flow.
Well, move out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come down here.
Alright.
Fallon, move.
Fallon the bird. First clean with her undead army. How Fallon with his animal army.
I'm gonna send a couple of big old purple spears at it. Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast? Alright. Just to make sure, go ahead and make the attack roll.
Natural 1, he kills Cain.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage. Let's just only do it once, but I want to
360
calibrate my expectations here. Okay, so you got a max roll on it. Okay, so you lean back, and in quick succession, you fire off a few of your finest Eldritch Blasts, precisely impacting the center of this altar. So these are sort of bolts of, visible, but sort of ethereal magical force that fly almost instantly from Quiz to the altar. They impact the altar, and as they do, they actually rebound from it, which you realize, Quiz, is kind of dangerous. Luckily, nobody gets hit because they get channeled almost straight up into the ceiling. As they do, Quiz, give me perception. Just Quiz.
I could feel it. Today was the day I got the nat 20 Arcana check.
You notice actually that the travel speed, which is incredibly fast in any case, but you're sort of used to watching it, so you can actually track it. They slow down as they're reflected from the altar, and they seem to take on sort of a more solid look. And as they impact the ceiling, your bolts almost seem to like smush against it. There's no crumbling of rock or anything like that. It's almost as if the altar deflected it and turned it into jelly.
When I look at the ceiling right above it here, what does the ceiling look like?
Wait, oh yeah, you have dark vision. You run over and you notice just the tail end of a little glow, almost as if you'd unleashed some sort of goop on the ceiling that was quickly dissolving. You notice a few colors to it, actually. There's sort of a pale blue, a yellow, and a sort of pink or something like that.
I explain what I've seen to my compatriot.
See? Told you. Just put some magic in it. Stuff happens.
But what exactly did that accomplish?
I just told you what it did. It put magic in it, and it makes the magic like float. Something else? Look,
Well,
you're the wizard.
Can I go put one of my magic or that time gem on it?
Birds.
Yes, you can.
The one we got from
Oh, you broke KC again.
little guy
Yeah.
that turned into the bad guy.
Kane's gonna step back a bit.
So as you take it out, you notice that it's sort of an indigo color.
Indigo.
You put it on the altar. Let me think. How would that react? You put it there, and you watch as the color of the stone actually starts to oscillate. It moves slightly towards a more violet color and then swings back to sort of a clear blue. And you just watch as over the course of a few seconds, the color sort of slowly goes back and forth. But otherwise, there's no other apparent reaction.
Okay, then I want to put my white skull on there and see if that does anything. I'm just trying stuff.
Yeah. You put the white skull on the altar, and there is a white skull on the altar.
Okay, then I put the glow crystal on there.
On the altar.
The glow crystal glows a little bit brighter, doubles the effective radius.
All right, I pick it up and I say, "Good idea." I put some gnome salts on there, and I light them.
Oh shit. Okay. Gosh.
Now when all the people awaken in this tower, they'll be high as shit.
Maybe they'll kill each other instead of us.
Think of all the levels we're gonna get from fighting
all right. So...
Right? Power leveling. As KC's like, I need you guys to be a higher level. What can I do?
I need everybody except for Quizmiligus to give me a Constitution saving throw. Fallon, you have advantage.
Because you're an addict.
Was that second one Gmork or something?
I double-clicked thinking I needed to double-click.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
No worries.
Hold on, let me get Gmork to... Yes, Gmork.
All right. Colleen and Gmork. As you light it up...
Didn't Gmork get a 20?
Gmork did get a 20. That's right, that was your second roll. So actually just Colleen. So as you light up the gnome salts, something you've never seen before happen. They like properly explode into a puff of sort of a sickly green color, not at all what you're used to. And there's a stench in the air around you. The cloud sort of ends somewhere in between Colleen and Quiz. And Quiz, you kind of back away from it. But Colleen, you can't quite get away in time. You are thoroughly sickened and disoriented. For the next hour, you are going to be considered poisoned. In addition, you take
This damage involved.
20 poison damage.
Okay.
Jesus. Out of my guilt, I
Out of your guilt.
I hit him
That
with
was a
the
god-awful idea, wasn't it, Fallon?
healing spirit,
Okay, your eagles disappear.
and that's fine, and I make it look like a sad zombie.
Sad zombie.
Console me, lost spirit.
Alright,
I want to try something.
assuming that you're remaining within this zone, you're gonna... Or actually, Fallon should really roll it, but you can regain up to 10d6 hit points off of
Can I
this.
be next to it too?
Do you still need to regain hit points?
A little bit.
Okay, how many d6s do you want?
I 2.
Fallon, roll 2d6. I capped the healing with this trick in mind, so you can heal people for up to 24d6 with this. So
Come on.
roll another
Can
d6.
you-
It's fine.
There we go.
That enough?
Yeah.
All right.
Can I have
Like-
a couple?
Yeah, sure. You can
Okay.
spread around up to 24.
So I'm gonna go over here.
I don't need all of those.
I'm going to
Most of them.
Okay, so I want to put my Cultists of Sheena medallion. I
wait
was-
before Fallon does that.
no.
Kate waited for the stealth to explode, and then Fallon cast a spell and stuff.
yeah, that's fine. King can go down.
I was slam down the magic ruby onto the thing. See what
Wait,
happens.
you still have that? I thought you don't have that anymore.
I'm gonna step away.
The magic ruby.
Did you get a
those
new
people
one?
are really dumb.
Remember the one from the guy who sold the trinkets?
I feel like he did get another ruby that did something or something.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that
Well,
one.
he called it the magic ruby. And
Yeah, that the other one was a curse ruby.
Oh,
Just
the
the
one that
magic
you can like attach to your items to make them magical. That
Yeah.
one.
Let's see
Okay.
what happens.
All right. Yeah. You slam it down. There's no visible effect. You can give me an Arcana check.
I will. Arcana,
Yeah, you're not sure whether it did.
a 6 and a 9.
All right, I've got 2 more items I'm gonna try, and then I'll be done. One is the amulet or the Cultists of Sheena medallion.
Okay. You put the cultist medallion on the altar. Let me think. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
I want you to make an attack roll based on your strength.
Against 2.
Can I just do? Does this work?
Yeah, that'll work. We'll just deduct 1. Kane, what's your
20.
AC?
Ooh. Rude. Hold on. I guess I don't have the weapons out, do I?
You don't have have weapons out, do you? No, you don't. Or, I mean, I wouldn't think you would.
Yeah,
You'd
no.
have them ready at hand, but...
I don't have them. They're not out. I'm not wielding them at the moment.
Oh yeah, I know. You don't get your defensive
I can't
duelist thing.
use or my dual wielder thing.
Right.
Uncanny dodge.
Okay, Fallon, it's gonna be roll 1d4 and add your strength.
Oh, what is my strength?
I'm just getting all the rolls out of the way, and then I'll explain what's going on.
Damn it.
Okay, so Kane, you're going to take 3 bludgeoning damage. Fallon sets the medallion of the cultist of Sheena on the altar, and for a moment, neither of you think anything happened. And then Kane, you look up to Fallon to maybe, shrug or ask him what he thought would happen or something like that. And you notice sort of an odd reddish gleam in his eyes. And then out of nowhere, he just grimaces, wheels, and just punches you right in the stomach.
Ow.
And then Fallon, the feeling passes. And you could swear you noticed sort of a dull red glow fading from the medallion on the altar.
Kate's gonna take like a step back.
I'll pick it back up. I'll pick it back up and say, all right, okay, fine. This is my last one. Hold on.
Thanks. Can I have a dagger? I was like, you good? Are we good? You good? You?
Hold on. And I put my Alkadir ring on the altar to see if anything happens there.
Okay.
Prove to me you're yourself.
I walk up behind Clean and say, well, this is quite entertaining.
I heard that.
And while I'm doing this, I'm also asking in my head towards the Febreze. I'm saying, could you help?
He says, I can certainly try. But then you do lower the the ring onto the altar. I need...
I got my daggers out this time. I'm like, he good?
Let me see here. I need to look up some stuff. So first of all, as you do that, the ring begins to glow that greenish color that it glows when activated. And actually, you all can see something also seems to be glowing within both Fallon's and Colleen's packs.
X-ray ring.
So Fallon and Colleen, I am going to need
most likely the vestiges
to make 2 wisdom saving throws.
While they do this, I use the X-ray ring. Looking at the packs. What's glowing?
It's based on what you know, definitely the vestiges.
Okay.
All right. So. Okay.
We got TV carousels just fucking with this altar. Is that what's gonna happen here?
maybe.
While Chris just watches.
Okay.
It's like the gods chose it apparently.
Oh man.
Okay.
My kills versus Max's class resource is no longer viable.
All right. Both of you, Fallon and Colleen, have a momentary sort of protective or almost greedy sort of instinct, like as you realize that your packs are glowing, it's the vestiges, you need to keep these things safe, etc. But then it passes and the ring calms down.
All right, I pick it up. I pick it up and I say, "All right, Fabrizio, please come have a seat."
Right.
Wait, you said 2 things. I have a thing I want to try.
Fabrizio backs the hell up.
Alright, guys.
Clean,
No.
shoot away even more.
Yeah.
Alright.
Maybe.
This may be crazy. And just stop me if I shouldn't do it.
Do it.
And I take out the blend poop shard.
The what?
You think this will do anything?
What was it?
The blend poop shard. Remember when he died and he had a bunch of crystals and shit? I grabbed one.
Jeez. Oh,
Well,
jeez.
we can only hope. Get on with it.
Oh, it says, go right ahead, yeah.
I'm gonna put the shard at the altar.
Okay. The instant that the shard touches to the altar, there's sort of a vicious inhalation, almost as if all the matter in that area was just extinguished, and the air had to rush to fill the vacuum. And then there's an explosion.
See, Casey knew I was gonna do this. He didn't have to think about this.
yeah, no, this one actually, yeah. Kane,
That was being creative.
well, Kane, give me a dexterity save.
Evasion. Let's go.
You can already see the damage, so let's see if you...
No!
I need to think about what the DC for this should be. I heard you react. Oh, well, okay.
I rolled a 1 and a 2! Well,
Yay!
I only take half damage, so...
Yeah, I almost feel like you should take full damage on a nat 1, but that's how the rules work. You still only take half. So yeah, you take 16 fire damage as it blows up in your face, and remove it from your inventory. The item no longer exists. And actually, the explosion appears to have damaged the altar itself. There's now a bit of a crater in that area where the setting was supposed to exist. And you hear sort of a sparking sound, as if something was shorted.
Well, we should leave this room.
Well,
Hold
does
on,
the door work?
Let me take a hit of that healing spirit real quick.
No, that's gone.
It's gone?
Yeah.
Fabrizio, is there...
Was it the end of short rest?
Can you mess with it?
Was this post short rest or during the short rest?
Okay,
Post.
let me come take a look. Fabrizio flies over.
Hey guys, take a short rest.
Gosh. And hover. And
Oh, do you need a
actually,
short
you know what,
rest,
Kane? I'm counting this entire thing as a short rest. If you want to spend a few more hit dice, go ahead.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
I was topped off and then took like 20 damage. So
Same.
Oh,
like I punched in the gut and then
Hey,
exploded.
I picked you up, alright?
He did.
Did you fix me? You punched
I
me.
did.
You fix me?
You used some of
I just want to
Before
point
you
out,
punch-
I'm dealing as much damage to you guys with your curiosity as I am with that last encounter. Or as I did.
Yeah.
Anyway. Let me get my verb tense right. So yeah. So Fabrizio
15.
hovers in front of the altar and says, actually, give me just a moment. About 15 minutes pass. You guys, frankly, start to get bored. But, you know, short rest.
Alright, I'm back up to full health now.
Why is your hit dice a +1?
Another 15 minutes passes. Fabrizio says, everyone, there's something familiar about this, but I can't quite... Well, you would say you couldn't quite put your finger on it.
You have hands.
I need a moment. I'll be right back.
Was Stroke that bad?
And he sort of flies around the corner.
So should I try something else, guys?
What have you done?
Y'all said I should do it. I asked. He's rolling a lot of dice. And I don't like it.
It's really scary. Especially that he's rolling physical dice and all the cameras suddenly disappeared.
Fuck you to die.
You blacked out.
The entire rest of your short rest passes, this is going to take about 45 minutes for Fabrizio to get to the bottom of this. Is there anything else anyone was looking to do at that time?
I wanted to pet the birds. They seem to have disappeared, but they're still here, technically. Can I pet a bird?
No.
Oh.
Alright. So, Fabrizio...
Oh, hey, very respect.
Returns and says, "Clean. The creation stones. Can you place them on the altar?"
I thought that's where we might be going with this.
I'm sure it'll be fine after it blew up.
Quiz casually starts walking this way.
I'll go ahead and
Kate's gonna follow Quiz.
inlay it in the altar.
Just gonna stand behind this pillar here. Don't mind me.
As you do, you set them down. The 3 stones, which have always been sort of matte, almost dull, clear, and begin to shine with an inner light, faint but clearly visible. You watch as the inlay on the altar starts to mend itself from the damage caused by the explosion Kane set off. And then you watch as 3 lines of color pass down the channels of the altar, connecting to the stones on the outside.
So there was an obvious clue we missed, yeah.
Well, I wasn't here for the description of the altar, so it's like...
It was whatever. It wasn't.
You guys rolled my nat 20. Weren't you there for that?
I don't think so.
You were, it's cool.
Then I wasn't paying attention, and that's my fault.
Nothing is obviously happening, but the 3 stones on the outside have begun to glow slightly. You wait, and then Fabrizio says, still all telepathic, mind you, I really thought something would happen if we did that. Well, besides the obvious. He flies up and starts to fly around the room. And then he says, "Wait a minute, I got it." He actually disappears. He flies over top of this pillar and then disappears down into it, seeming to pass through the surface on the top. And
okay, when he does that, I'm going to use Misty Step to the top of one of these pillars.
Okay. Do you realize as you do, you can either go on top of the pillar or inside of it. Which would you like?
I'd like to go inside the pillar.
Okay. You go inside the pillar, and you see what appears to be... Well, actually, it's kind of odd, but it is a keyhole. It is clearly a keyhole. You somehow know this, even though a hole is normally the lack of something. But nope, you can pick it up. Clearly a keyhole.
I pick it up?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're holding the keyhole.
I'm going to run into a flip
wrapping
into the
your
other
mind
one.
around this, but that's what you're doing.
I'm going to come out of the
hold on a second. Let me stay with Quiz for a moment, Kane.
No problem.
Go ahead, Quiz.
I'm going to come out and yell over at everyone. I found a hole in a hole.
Fabrizio flies up out of his pillar and says, "Here, put it in this." And he's holding what seems to be sort of an ornate knob.
Okay.
An ornate knob?
Just, I mean, simple. Well, actually, no, I take that back.
Just put the ornate knob in the hole.
It's simple, but
The hole in the ornate knob.
But it is, it's like a brass knob that he's holding.
So we're basically crafting a door handle to open the door.
Something like that.
Sure, I put them together.
All right. Incidentally, you've realized there's a door at the base of this pillar. You can walk out of it. It's all good. Fabrizio takes that and then flies ahead of you across the room and puts the door handle in the door. Kane, let's go to you. You went into that other pillar?
I did a jumping flip. Hardcore parkour.
Acrobatics, that's 10 feet.
It's 23.
You can do it, but you have to use levitate.
Aw. Okay. I never used it anyway.
Or if you want to, like, what you can do, if you want, is, like, scale the pillar. Like, you can't literally just jump 10 feet and land inside.
Can I reuse by 23?
Yeah, you can use your 23 for that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll scale it.
So you jump up, you land a good way up the pillar, you pull yourself up and sort of do a flip down inside. At the bottom, there is what appears to be a skeleton key.
Take the key.
Yep.
Anything else in there?
Well, there are engravings around the inside as well as the outside.
Can I read them?
Well, so they're actually pictures.
Ooh.
You want to look at it?
Yeah.
All right.
I like pictures.
So you...
Kane does good with pictures.
You look around. The image appears to have a sort of beginning, which depicts a desolate world, sort of reduced to just bare crags of rock, sand, water, sort of base elements. And then as you look around the inside, you see images of 3 children reshaping various things. One of them reshapes the landscape itself. You see her creating animals and forests. Another of them you see with his hand on top of men and elves and halflings, giving them life. And a third you see weaving threads of magic through the world.
Do I recognize any of them?
They are not the most detailed images. However, if you have a suspicion as to who they might depict,
I do. Then
would you care to hazard a guess? I can at least tell you whether the images are consistent with who you're thinking.
I don't remember. Has Kane seen the kids for the Creation Stone kids?
You all have, except for
Quiz. Okay. So yeah, there's the Creation Stone kids.
It would certainly be consistent.
Cool.
As a matter of fact, give me perception.
Because she was poisoned. But I think she shouldn't be poisoned anymore, right?
Yeah, Colleen, you're still poisoned.
Yeah.
15.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's automatically a 15. You notice... You have to sort of go back in your memory banks to remember exactly what they look like, but you also notice some small details, such as the hairstyles, their heights, relative ages, things like that. It all lines up.
I'm going to go out and say, hey, Colleen, I found some pictures of your creation buddies.
Some pictures in a pillar?
Yeah.
Should I investigate?
Yeah.
Is there a way in?
You approach it. There's not an obvious door, but you realize there's a door there.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll pop in.
Yep.
So, see? Pictures.
You see what I just described to Kane. Quiz, since you were away for it, I will just briefly say that Kane has pieced together that inside that pillar are engravings depicting what appear to be the spirits of the creation stones rebuilding the world after some kind of desolation.
What's in this one? I like the engravings on this one.
Yeah. You walk into that one.
Tell me your secrets.
And it's a little bit difficult. There's sort of one panel that seems like where the last one started. But as you look around the rest of it, you think that's actually the end of this one. And the rest of it, you see a world that seems reminiscent of the one you know, although you're only getting a snapshot of it, so it's hard to say. But then you see images of that world being laid to waste by strange creatures.
Do I see tentacles?
You see tentacles.
So damn tentacles. First one.
Actually,
I found tentacles going in. Hop into the next pillar.
Hold on. One other thing. In between that and the image of the desolation, you see one other. There are 9 individuals, 5 women, 4 men, all unique, but they hold themselves with authority, with power.
How many gods
and
are
you
there?
see all of their hands sort of outstretched against these creatures. And you see the creatures, it seems like they're being banished or imprisoned or something like that. They're being cast away into some sort of darkness.
How many gods there again, Casey?
There are 9.
Okay, cool. Third pillar. As I yelled to clean, I found tentacles.
Yeah, so in this one, the beginning of it is there are 2 spheres. One is, now it's a stone engraving, mind you, but one is sort of raised on the outside and empty inside. The other is raised all the way across. So it sort of creates you imagine some sort of depiction of either light and darkness or emptiness and fullness or something like that. The one that appears to be either dark or full, it depicts it splitting into at first what appeared to be just shards of crystal, but then in the next panel you watch as those are depicted almost morphing into the 9 individuals from the previous column. And then the rest of it depicts those 9 individuals creating various aspects of the world. Actually sort of actively forging it. So, if it's a city, they're laying down blocks. If it's an animal, then perhaps they're stroking. If it's a fire, they're stoking it. That sort of thing.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna exit the pillar. Alright. So, after examining these pictures in what I believe to be their reverse order, we're fucked. Let's go.
I'm glad you made that observation.
What was that word you used?
Which word?
I don't know. I couldn't really.
Reverse?
Hadn't heard it before.
Pictures?
Right, never mind.
Let's go. Onwards and forwards.
Okay.
Colleen with quick green still.
I asked Colleen, what did he
Mhm.
what did he mean?
What did Kane mean?
Yes, he's the he I'm referring to.
Well, from what I saw in the one, and from what Kane described, I would say perhaps it's some kind of prophecy of some great destruction, and then the creation stones kind of heal the world at the end. That
Big
sounds about
tentacles
right.
gonna fuck the planet.
Yes, Kane says big tentacles will fuck
He
the
said it
planet.
again. What does it mean?
You don't know what fuck is?
Alright.
If you grew up in a city, you know.
Kane, are you putting the key in the keyhole, as it were?
Oh, right, I have the key. Hi, Fabrizio.
Alright.
The keymaster, you're the gatekeeper.
You put the key in the keyhole.
Can you see? Wait, I want to try something.
Oh, alright.
We're all connected mentally, right? Can I just,
yeah,
like...
Oh, wait a minute. How long does that last?
8 hours.
Oh, yeah. You totally still are, then.
Can I visualize the pictures and everyone can see them?
We don't have that kind of connection. If I had chosen that option, it's possible.
You could describe them.
Aw,
and I
man.
would allow that you could do that rather quickly as well.
Nah, it's fine.
Paint me a picture.
I was gonna picture a dick.
Yeah,
Oh.
there is there is a different connection that would work, but yeah.
I was gonna use the fuck out of that if that was true, but it's not. Alright. Kane just puts the key in the keyhole.
I mean, that being, yeah, you can communicate to everybody that you're thinking about a dick.
Yeah, but it's just not the same. It's just
Why are you thinking about dicks, Kane?
Exactly, right? Like, it's just weird. But they just, like, all of a sudden, they just picture a dick in their head, like... Much better effect.
Alright.
How did this dick get in my head?
You slowly and seductively slide the key all the way into the
That is not what I said at all. I said dejectedly, because...
And you slowly begin to turn it.
I think we found Casey's, like, part-time, like, DMing. He just...
This is, like, the worst ASMR.
Yeah, and you all hear a just sort of a resounding, echoing thud as some sort of locking mechanism slides into the unlocked position.
All right.
The echo subsides, and the door hangs loose in its frame.
Okay, I'm gonna go first, guys.
The door is still quite heavy, incidentally, but I mean, you can move it without difficulty. It's got some 3-day hinges. All right, let me prepare the next map.
I'm going to hold on before we go down there, though. I want to. Which one should I do? Detect magic. Okay. I'm going to detect magic.
All right.
And I'm at the 3rd level, right?
Yes, indeed it is.
Yep. So detect magic.
All right.
And I'm going to put my hood up and sneak forward.
Yeah, sure. You can go ahead and roll stealth.
Stealth.
Incidentally, as you're detecting magic, the oh, actually, is that true? Let me think about this. The door weirdly does not display as magical, nor does the altar.
Cool. Hey guys, the altar's not magic. Then I go through the door.
All right. Well, follow Kane sickly.
Yeah.
Wait. Fallon says, wait. Is Kane already gone?
Presumably, but
okay.
But you can call after him, and he can hear you.
No, I don't want to. Okay.
Okay.
I can call everyone else together, and I hit us with the pass without a trace.
Hey.
Okay. Very good.
I would want that. A 34 stealth. Come on.
yeah. So anyone who wants to go ahead and just make stealth rolls, that's all good.
Okay, Casey.
Yep.
All right. So as everyone's kind of leaving, Quiz is going to try and trail behind a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to write in the Book of Shadows quickly. Has the world been devastated before? ?
Okay, so you're hanging back in the room that you were just in.
Just bare. I'm not like hiding that I'm doing it. But I'm like,
yeah. But it's in this room that you're leaving, that you're writing
yeah,
this, right? Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay.
The book explodes.
You write the words, and they fade, and then some new words appear below it. It says, I've heard stories of this.
And I close the book and sneak along.
All right.
Super sneaky. I'm so quiet, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Not just you, my friend. Colleen, roll stealth.
I'm sorry, I'm paying bills. I forgot that I haven't done them.
Pay your stealth bill. Pay your stealth bills.
Hey, I'm in the front. I would assume it was like a good 20 to 30 feet.
I get a good stealth with your help.
Well, so you're 32. Quiz is a nat 20 at 33. Gamork's at 36, and I'm a nat 20 at 39.
Very sneaky.
And I'm
Kane
at 24.
Does Kane know we're there?
Kane's like, guys,
hello.
Kane's focused on his mission. He's scouting ahead for the team.
He doesn't know we're there.
Right.
That's basically
doesn't know
what
you're
I
there.
decided.
But he's not like, where you guys at? He's just scouting.
As you all start down the stairs, Kane, please increase the weight of the clear stone to 40 pounds.
Yikes.
You should have left that on that guy's foot.
Big.
So you
and oh yeah, we talked about the clear stone last time, right? Because I did the thing where I touched the dude with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is that at? Where are you at, clear stone? There you are, you lovable shit.
All right. So you pass down the stairs and into a small chamber. As you do, Fabrizio comes flying out in front of you. Actually, everyone else comes in behind.
I say shush to Fabrizio.
But he doesn't know that.
They're very quiet. I don't hear them.
And you all hear a gentle voice chime inside your mind. Guys, I've had an odd feeling for the last few rooms of this place, and let me just say something before we continue. As we were descending that tower, I felt the tug of something familiar. I know that I'm supposed to guard someplace, or tend it anyway, and I thought this might be it, but now I know this isn't that place. I, in fact, hope to leave and journey on with you in search of my place. But there's something else. I don't know how to put my tail around it, but this really is the center of the world. Just be careful, okay?
That was a good dad joke, Casey, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
I just like that he said you would say put your finger on it earlier, and now he's saying put his tail around it.
I like that I can't see Casey's camera, but it's alright because I just love his fucking picture. It's just so good.
Fallon's going to say something later about putting his leg around something. Can't
my.
put my leg around it, Fabrizio, but...
Alright. Okay, Fabrizio, that's cool. That's cool. Be careful. Thought I was doing that, but I'll be extra careful now.
He actually sort of shrugs his wings and says, I don't know. be careful probably isn't much in the way of advice at this point, but anyway, he sort of floats a little bit lower in the air.
I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the effort.
I really wish that.
And I'm gonna. Can I pitch you, Fabrizio?
I want Kane to think that he's having.
There.
I want Kane to think he's having a heart-to-heart with Fabrizio because he thinks we're all still back upstairs.
Oh yeah, no, he does. I picked Fabrizio.
I'm glad we could share this moment.
He allows it.
Thank you, Fabrizio. Thank you for the advice. I will be careful. Let everyone else know to hang back until I have finished scouting out up here. And I continue forward.
Okay, so you're pushing this door?
That's a door? Okay, yeah, sure.
That's the door. Okay.
Gonna quietly just creak the door
open. The door. I'm gonna represent this by I've got a dynamic lighting element over the door. I'm just gonna remove that, like the door's open.
Yeah.
As Kane's pushing the door open, I'm gonna say telepathically, I don't think what Kane saw was a prophecy. I think it was a history.
I can hear you. What makes you say that, Grizz?
Just a feeling.
Okay. Hey guys, there's a big blue ball and a smaller pink ball.
The picture isn't perfectly accurate. I'll describe after you actually enter the room.
Hey guys, there's a thing, and I describe what I see.
That was like the closest image I could find to what I was looking for.
It's
like
pretty
a
dope.
Planetarium.
Okay, so you're just staring in from outside the room?
Yeah, I'm gonna just look at it real quick before I enter.
All right, so you look in on a second chamber. It's roomier than the one you're currently in, but not by much.
I jump when Fallon walks up on me.
The chamber is unadorned, with one notable exception. At the center of the room, and this is where this image isn't perfect, but it's the right shape, so I just went with it. So there's a 9-sided pedestal of gray stone. There are 9 golden runes emblazoned on each side, and each glows brilliantly in a different color. One silver, one dark brown, a sparkling blue, a deep green, a crackling orange, a deep purple, a blood red, and a blinding white. There is one exception. One rune is barely glowing at all. It's sort of a faint yellow, tepid and translucent. In the center of the pedestal is a device that's at least covered in gold, if not made of it. And unmistakably, this seems to be the cradle. There is a disc at its base, and from that base there are 9 arms that radiate out, and they're connected to each other by further gold rings that extend upwards. At the end of each arm is a setting that holds a clear gem, and through which the light from each of these runes is focused. And then at the center of the cradle hangs in midair a shard of jagged black crystal, which is shrouded in a kaleidoscopic bubble from the runes.
I want to touch that.
You notice that the bubble is flickering slightly.
Is what?
And there are sort of yellow flickers in the bubble.
Oh, flickering. Okay, sorry. My ping just cut out the word.
Yeah.
Okay. Kane's gonna go. Wait, hold on. What was I about to do?
I don't know. Anyone else do anything?
Wait. I'm gonna go in the room.
Yeah, I'll take a step and start to examine it.
Where's my mouse?
All right. So Kane, as you step into the room,
Stop it.
as if from outside of yourself, you understand what you need to do. And I don't do this very often, but I'm going to do it now. I'm going to take Kyrian into Casey's office, and the rest of you can speculate about what we're talking. I apologize, this might take a little while. If you want to watch it on the recording, feel free, but
I can't even go into the room.
Kyrian and I are going to have ourselves a private moment.
Hop to him on stream.
Stream sniped.
Yeah, you can do that too. But I mean, your characters don't know this, and that's why I'm doing it. All right,
Yeah.
here we go. All right, Kyrian.
Yes, I
As
want
you
to touch
step
it.
into the room, the increase the weight of the stone to 80 pounds. Actually,
Increase the weight to what?
80 pounds.
80 pounds.
Yeah. The stone has
Okay, hold on. What are your comfort rules?
max that you can possibly carry is 3 times your normal carrying capacity.
Is how much?
So like for you, I think your strength is 9, so it's going to be 135 is the most.
No, you're cutting out. What did you say?
135 pounds is going to be the most you can possibly carry.
Okay. But what happens when I pass 90?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. That's what happens when I pass 90.
Yeah, I know. It's just 1x and 3x.
Okay.
Okay. So you know what you need to do though. You brace yourself. The stone has grown so heavy that you need to use both arms now in order to retrieve it. But as you lift it from your bag, you hear a panicked voice in the back of your mind. It's Tirsa's voice. This is the first time you've heard her panicked. She says, "Wait, Kane, no!" And then a spear of black energy lances out from the crystal through one of those flickers in the shield that I was talking about. It seems to home in on the clear stone in your hand. For the briefest instant, you see an inky blackness fill the stone, and then you see nothing.
Cool.
You float in...
Do they have a chance to stop this, by the way?
No, that's why I took you to this other thing. All right.
Okay.
You're floating in deep water, surrounded by some vast seven-limbed creature. Its body is thin and wispy, like that of a jellyfish, and it glows with a dull iridescence. You recognize it. It's the creature from the vision you saw when battling the aboleth. Somehow, breathing the water is as natural as breathing air. "Hello, brave one," it says. Its voice is tender, even motherly, and as wispy as its body. "To think that you found my message on the surface and brought it all the way here. You're spectacular."
Yeah.
I should
Of course.
introduce myself. You may call me Beyond. I can imagine that you might...
Isn't it?
The closest approximation I could think of in your tongue was Beyond.
Beyond. Huh.
Please,
Well,
I imagine you must have many questions. I'm happy to answer.
Yeah, so the stone
Yes.
that I just randomly found in the street?
Yes.
Why was it randomly in the street?
Well, honestly, I put out a number of them. It was something of a... Well, I didn't know that the effort would do much good, but I hoped that someone such as yourself might find one.
Okay, makes sense, understandable. So what just happened?
What happened is that stone allowed you to connect to my mind. It grows heavy when my magic is near. Or the magic of my family.
Okay. So you're the black crystal?
Well, you might say this is my home. I am myself. I am not the crystal.
So you live in the crystal. That's cool.
Something like that.
Yeah. Not the first thing I found that lives in a small object. Okay.
Yes.
Well, now I'm talking to you.
Indeed.
So what's up?
Well, you feel something that the closest thing you can say is that it might be a chuckle, but coming from this creature,
It what?
So you think it might be a chuckle, like a small laugh, but it comes across just as sort of a pulsing luminescence from this creature, and it says, "Ah, have you ever lived in a creature in a crystal, brave one? I imagine not. You can imagine it's not very pleasant."
I've spent some time in a bangle, but it wasn't. I just left when I felt like it, so probably not.
Right. Although actually, speaking of which, the creature sort of turns around you. And it says, well, actually, no, I take that back. It doesn't do this yet. It says, yes, honestly, I can't help but regard my state here as unjust. Sort of turns around, you feel it sort of regarding you, and it says, I'm sure you've been mistreated enough just for being different. So, how do you think I must feel having been regarded by the gods themselves as so different that I had not even the right to exist?
Well, I get with my own experience with such a thing. I imagine your plans involve lots of killing.
Killing? It pauses for a moment. Only when
Well,
threatened.
oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, if I was ever able to go back to find those certain individuals, they would not live long after. So I just
Well,
figured.
then perhaps we're more on the same page than I initially realized. After all, if there was a person or a group who sought to eradicate you and your family, would you not lash out?
I would. I have,
Well, such is
and I
my
plan.
position. View that crystal, that stone you found, as the furthest I could reach at the time that I made it.
When did you make it?
Oh, many years and realities ago. Before you were born, at any rate. Probably, you would call it perhaps 40 years. Not too long a time in the grand scheme of things.
40 years, huh? Anything happened 40 years ago, Casey? Can't we know about like big events?
Give me intelligence.
Oh boy. Would whisper it or make it public?
Just roll it. That's fine.
Okay.
That was before you were born. Yeah, you got no fucking idea.
Got no idea. No fucking clue. Okay. All right. So, but what does that mean for the rest of us?
For the rest of you,
Those who aren't directly opposed.
let me think. Well, no doubt it would be some inconvenience on you to make room in your world for more. Coexisting is always difficult after all, yes? So, I make no pretense that there would not be sacrifices.
And it would just be this world?
Well, more so this reality. After all, your plane connects to many others.
But it would
Anyone's...
just be this plane, or would it be all plane?
Well, all within this reality to some extent, although clearly we're imprisoned where we're imprisoned.
Because I do have plans to visit a different plane.
Oh,
So
you wish to
coexistence.
travel?
Yes. So coexistence wouldn't be an issue for me unless it spread to the other plane.
I see.
Then
Well,
I don't have to deal with it, but
I'm
I could
not...
just avoid it.
I will say, there is not much I can do from here, but, well, you have my word that as much as it is within my power to see you transported where you will, I shall do it. Of course, as I just said, I'm capable of no such thing at this moment.
So
Although,
what is it
actually,
to do? We're here in this weird tower.
well, frankly, there's
Assailed by some weird fish people.
weird fish people.
This really weird fish person.
Oh, you mean Unbor. Yes, that's unfortunate. I did have to retrieve him. I spoke to him before I spoke to you. It appears to have broken his mind.
Am I going to break?
I shall seek to return you before that happens. Although, speaking of your mind, and then it sort of turns regarding you, seems you have an unwanted rider in your mind. A parasite, I could call it. Do you know what I'm speaking of?
Tirsa?
It pauses for a moment. Yes. Yes, I think it does call itself that. Shall I remove it for you?
Yes.
Very well. The creature contracts slightly around you, and you see Tirsa appear next to you. She looks over at you and says, Kane, what is this?
This is
Go ahead.
beyond. And this is me evicting you from my mind.
Kane, what have I... She pauses for a moment and says, I don't think you want to do this. But then at that moment, the creature draws back one of its tentacles and spears Tirsa straight through her torso, and she shatters in crystalline shards. And her voice is gone from your mind.
Kane's kind of closes his eyes a bit and kind of takes a deep breath. So what do you want me to do?
What I want you to do... It looks at you. And it says, I shall be honest with you. You've been ill-treated, and not least of all, by my brothers. I believe you've encountered them at a few points along your way, and if I were you, I would be suspicious of everything I heard. And so I will not hold back from you.
Your brothers being one of the ones that put something in my mind as well.
Thinks for a moment. Something in your mind? What are you referring to?
Blimploop?
Ah. More call him a child of mine than anything. I was thinking of, well, to be honest, I'm withholding myself from probing your mind any deeper than I have, but I believe at a few points you may have encountered creatures that you would regard as strange and powerful.
Oh, those things.
Yes.
Yeah, that was, no pun intended, beyond me.
Well, view it this way. My family has been subjected to genocide by the gods, and some of my brothers are not as restrained and understanding as I am. So, you have every right to be suspicious of what I'm saying. But, here's the truth. If you remove the cradle, as you were sent to do, my family and I shall be freed. If you do not wish this, do not do it. As for the stone, it's your connection to me. If you wish upon it, I will hear, and your wish will be granted. Well, yeah. If you wish, you may leave it. If you wish to sell it, or bury it, or destroy it, I shall not hold you in ill regard. Remember only that it delivered you under my power, and that I let you free, as I wish for all things to be free. Oh, and while I'm at it, it pauses for a moment. There, the stone will not grow heavy again. It will merely darken somewhat when my magic is near.
Okay.
And now, Kane, I think this is the longest that I can hold you, so I believe this is farewell.
Farewell.
And we can go back to the other chat.
Alright. When I come out of it, I guess I'm gonna monologue that. Just describe, just kind of like, I'm just kind of look at the stone now, and just kind of give like a kind of look thing.
Yeah. I'll narrate a bit, and then you can.
The Trials 2019.
And then you can just say that.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you for your patience. We are back. The rest of you look on as Kane pulls the stone from the bag. You're not aware that anything odd has passed.
What stone from where?
Kane is holding a stone in his hand.
The clear stone?
Yeah, although it is now deeply cloudy, almost black.
Oh, that's it?
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, so...
It's no longer
and
heavy.
it's not...
It's back to 0.1.
How much does it weigh now?
0.1.
Sweet. Alright. Yeah. So Kane just kind of looks at the stone. And looks at, what'd you call it, the cradle?
Mm-hmm. So that's the gold contraption that's underneath the black crystal that's hanging in the center altar.
So guys, I had a bit of an experience.
Yes.
The thing, the Beyond, Mama
Beyond.
Tentacles, is in that crystal, along with her brother.
Mama Tentacles.
Yeah, you know, because Blimploop was her son, or one of her children. Apparently.
Whoops.
So, she wants me to take the crystal out and free everybody inside. And I gotta say, tempting offer.
And so, just to remind you, she talked about moving the cradle.
Moving the cradle. Sorry, moving the cradle. I did kind of forget the exact instructions. Moving the cradle. Let them out. You know? they're probably going to go after the gods, but beyond that, you know, they just want to live too, as well.
I thought you hated Blind Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, she helped me out though.
Helps you out.
Sounded pretty sincere.
How did she help you?
Well, she removed that voice in my head.
Oh God.
So I don't have that voice in my head anymore now. Right? Did I listen? Oh, no response in my brain. Yeah, the voice is gone now. And, you know, she's a very compelling argument for being freed. And you know, if we all help out, we could all definitely stand to gain.
What would we gain, Kane?
I mean, you saw what those things did. Before. Plus, you know, like, I got this crystal now. And I can apparently just wish for things.
And I lean to Colleen and I say, "Is this Kane?"
That's what I'm worried about. He's not usually the first to jump to aid, especially aboleth type creature.
What can I roll to see if that's Kane?
Insight.
Can we all roll it?
Damn it.
Yeah. And yeah, I'll just Kane, roll deception. Not necessarily that you're trying to deceive, just that this is like my standard roll for how difficult to read are you.
Okay.
Okay. Kane is very practiced in sort of self-presentation, if you will. Like, you know, make fun of him all you want, but like he knows how to appear genuine. Quiz. You get a close look at him, and you're pretty sure that he feels that he is being totally genuine with you. You do not see anything that would give away an attempt at deception. What you do see is that there's something just a little off with him, maybe almost manic. He's either gotten something that he really wanted or been influenced by some force or something like that. He seems very excited somehow.
Just for the record, as he's been saying this, he's been kind of looking at the big crystal and then like looking into the stone and looking kind of just like basically looking between the two. He hasn't looked at any of you guys as he said all this.
So Quiz is gonna walk up next to Kane and say, "Kane, this sounds like a decent plan, and if we can gain something out of it, that would be great. But can I see the crystal first?"
As you ask that, you all suddenly feel a sensation of weightiness around you. You're not quite sure what to make of it. You don't have difficulty holding yourselves up, but just like almost like the air in the room is more dense. Continue.
Why?
I'm just curious what it is you have there. And it looks very different from how it looks.
We already established what it was, didn't we? I found it. Apparently, she, the Beyond, put a whole bunch of these stones out into the world so that someone could come and free them.
I don't understand.
Kane, are these the things... Oh, God, snake. That's a very
Put the stone in my
snake.
pack.
I'm gonna walk to
and the snake appears.
The snake is. I want it to coil up Kane.
I want to avoid that.
Okay. Alright, here we are. The snake is going to appear with time to make at least one attack roll against Kane. So here we go.
Would I have time to? I wouldn't have drawn weapons immediately.
So it's 1d20 plus 6.
You say plus 6?
Yeah. You can choose to make it non-damaging if you're only trying to restrain. I'll allow that.
Well, I
we'll
have an
decide that
attack
if you
roll
hit.
for it.
Kane, I think your AC is higher than 17.
Yeah.
Why can't I? Is that the right roll? Sorry,
That's the right roll.
Okay.
Yep, so Kane, you dodge out of the way of the giant constrictor snake that materializes and attempts to
Whoa,
climb.
guys. Come on now. This is... Bro, we can all benefit from this. Like, it's... I don't want to do anything rash without talking it over, but there's no need...
I'm just going to claim that you're probably, like, here now, after dodging the giant snake.
Yeah, for giant snakes. Like, actually, I'm now going to be, like, on the other side of it.
Alright.
No need for giant snakes.
You love giant snakes.
No, I miss Matilda like we all do. No need to play on that. I just kind of... I'm eyeing the constrictor snake, and I got my hands on the hilts of my weapon, but nothing drawn yet. Let's just talk it over, guys.
Just
through our mental link, do we get any kind of interference at all?
Where's Fabrizio?
He's still in the other
covered
room.
by the snake? Okay.
Although, actually, so
Can
Colleen,
I put my...
you sort of... Actually, Colleen, give me... just give me Arcana for this, I guess.
So I want to put my foot on the cradle.
Alright.
20.
Okay. Colleen, you sort of do a mental checklist of your ability to reach out to everyone. It all seems uninterrupted, except you notice you cannot make contact with Fabrizio, who is still in the other room. Kane, you do so. Also, all of you hear sort of a crack.
I just put resting my foot. I wasn't doing anything else.
I know. I didn't say you caused it.
Can I roll a
perception
perception check
cause
to
it.
see where it came from?
It came from the area of the crystal, pretty clearly.
Like the crystal he's holding, or this thing?
The thing in the center.
Oh yeah, no, the crystal
There's
I
like,
had.
yeah.
Now.
Again, this picture is not perfect. Ditch the like blue and pink balls. There is actually like a jagged shard of black crystal, sort of suspended in midair in this multicolored shield thing. And you heard a crack from that area.
Let's think about this for a moment.
Gamork turn into a giant snake too.
You're gonna become... What is it? Not Yggdrasil, but the snake that lives beneath the world.
Oh, whoops.
At the base of the tree of life, or whatever, Norse mythology.
All right, now, Fallon. Like I said, I want to talk about this, but like my foot's on the cradle. I will move this without talking it over if that snake comes any closer to me.
Jormungandr, that's it. Jormungandr.
Let's kind of look, just like make full tense eye contact with Fallon. As I'm like, I will just shift this.
And I say, if you do, I'll put a dagger in you.
I want to talk about. I want to talk this over.
Well, you're not very good at talking about things.
Back away from the crystal and talk.
Back the snakes away.
If you back away from the crystal, you're backing away from the snakes. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
All right, I put my hands up in like a You can't see me. But I put my hands up, kind of too, like hands off the hilts.
Can we please see the crystal, Kane?
Why do you want to see the crystal? It's fine. Like we're talking about this right now. It's just it's like a connector thing. It's like a sending stone.
So let me get this straight. You want to free whatever's trapped inside of here, even though we just saw pictures of it destroying the world.
They said there'd be some adjustments for the coexistence, but we'd be fine.
I would like to ask my creation stones if they have an opinion or a relationship with this.
I had assumed that you left them on the altar in the other room because that's what was holding the door open.
Oh, well, if it was a gate mechanism, I guess.
You said the door was ajar.
That, but...
No, not the door in this room. The door from the last room to this lower level.
Yeah, that's the one I thought was just ajar. You said.
Yeah. So I was gonna mention it, Colleen, if you tried to pick them back up off the altar, that like the doorknob thing was gonna disappear. Since you didn't, I didn't say anything. But yeah,
okay,
they're sort of like serving as the mechanism.
So, Kane, do you think this
Fallon,
world needs adjustments?
How are you using that? Sorry. Sorry. Okay, go ahead, Quiz. I'm sorry.
So, I'm gonna try and move closer to Kane.
All right.
Kane, do you really think the benefits, the potential benefits, for releasing whatever's in here is worth their, and Quiz makes air quotes with his hand, adjustment to our world?
And as you finish that sentence, Quiz, have you heard that sort of crackling sound that happens when you break like auto glass? You hear something kind of like that, again, coming from the area of the crystal.
This crystal, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been calling Kane's thing the stone.
Stone. Okay.
Yeah, stone and crystal. I get stone. Crystal is big thing in there.
So the creation stones were serving as the key, more or less, to this area, but we don't know why Innis wanted us to come here.
So I'm sorry, Colleen. We saw images of the world being destroyed and then rebuilt by the three entities that are encased in your creation stone.
Yeah, that seems to be the gist of it. But
so if they were the keys that unlocked the door to this room, if you needed those three exact stones to enter this room, wouldn't you think that those three beings were trying to keep people from getting to this room?
That's my
then
question.
Then why'd they give us the method to get here? You would have found this without the mirror.
The serpent's tongue and says, "Kane, I really think you need to give that stone to Quiz. I think it's in your best interest. So let him take a look."
Since you're using an ability to do this, I'm going to allow this. Fallon, make an intimidation check with advantage, and Kane, you are going to make a wisdom saving throw against that DC. The DC set by Fallon's check.
18.
Yep.
Oh, it's so cinematic.
I know.
Fallon didn't say anything that flowery, but something about his demeanor and like simultaneously frightens you and also tugs at all the time that you've traveled together, and you find yourself handing the stone over to Quiz.
All right.
So now I have the stone.
Now you do. It is 0.1 pounds. I have it in Kane's inventory as clear stone. If you wind up keeping it somehow, then you can record it as the same. But right now, it sort of has an inky blackness in it.
So I'm gonna slowly kind of walk towards the door,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna kind of like, all right, I'm next to this big snake here. I'm just gonna throw the stone outside the door. Just
okay. Yeah, you. And actually, let me.
How do I feel now?
I duck.
Yeah, Kane, you're actually not too. That thing that we talked about before is not in as strong a force as it was before. Actually, you just feel the way Kane would normally feel about this. Actually, you throw it outside the room, and as it crosses the threshold of the room, that blackness fades a little bit. It's now sort of like a deep charcoal gray. It's not the same total blackness.
Do we all still feel that weighty feeling?
Yes, you do.
It's like, Kane, you still want to let the tentacles loose?
I mean, can I? Casey, can I ask you something in your office?
Yeah, sure thing.
I just want to clarify some things.
Yep, that's fair.
Wait, okay, so the stone I didn't want to release it, right? I didn't want to let them let go of the stone.
Yeah, you didn't before, but now that you've actually given it up, that compulsion that we talked about before is lifted.
Okay, so I don't care about the stone anymore.
Well, you care about it exactly as much as Kane normally would.
Well, as much as I know now, it's a way for me to get wishes, but okay.
Fair enough.
But there's still the kind of half persuaded effect of letting
so
these things out. It
those
still
wisdom
stands.
saves that you failed, that I said the thing, that is no longer in effect.
Okay, but I'm still okay. So I really don't need to change how I'm playing this right now. Then okay, cool. Just want to double check.
Yep.
Conjure animals once.
Okay, so this is planning. What? Plotting? Anyway,
What?
but no, it's I mean, look, who's the gods imprisoned these guys? They've already killed a lot of them, and the amount of power they're offering, I could just use that stone that you toss into the next room to they just get whatever I want. I think.
Yeah, but
They
aren't these guys in cahoots with all the demons that killed all the people?
So?
What if they killed Thule? Just fine with that?
But that's the thing.
'Cause you're so powerful.
I got this. They will, friends, all my friends, you guys, anyone else,
Loud crack.
keep y'all safe.
What do I roll to check out the altar and see if I can tell what's going on with the cracking?
Yeah, you can roll investigation.
Okay, when Kane talks about keeping everyone safe, I'm gonna invoke otherworldly insight.
What does that let you do?
That is one of my special KC given
Oh,
abilities.
that thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll get to you in a moment. I'm going to handle the investigation checks first.
That's fine. Because we're gonna have to figure that one out anyways together.
Yeah. Okay. So, Fowlin, you look around it. You mostly just see what I said before. You maybe sort of start to piece together that the cradle, the golden contraption at the base, seems to be channeling power that's coming from these runes and maintaining some kind of shield, perhaps. Colleen, you look at it closely. Given all the symbolism that you've seen up to this point, all the altars on the different levels, things click pretty naturally into place. These runes aren't ones that are familiar to you. You kind of think they might be older versions of what you're used to. But these are clearly associated with the 9 gods of Anangrun. And you guess that the sort of pale one must be Innis, because part of her power is bound away. So it's going to be weakened as compared to the other ones. And you look, and you realize you've been seeing those flickers of yellow light, so you imagine that the shield, the sort of containment on this black crystal, is weakened somewhat by that, and maybe something that Kane did is causing it to weaken further, which is concerning given all these cracking sounds. One more thing. Give me just an intelligence check. Colleen.
Go big or go home, Colleen. You got this, Brave. Shit.
There's something nagging you about all those weird poems that you read on the wall, but you can't.
I was just about to look for that.
You can't quite put it together yet. And all that is to say is that I'm not going to tell you exactly what I'm implying, but if you can figure it out for yourself, then great. All right, Quizmiligus. Let me mark this. And
He's doing a thing to me. Doing a thing.
all right. So
That's great.
do you have the rules open for your thing?
Yeah, I have put it copied.
I can't go back into the chat log far enough to pull
So
the
it
completed
says-
poem.
This ability has 3 levels.
Yep.
It can be cast a number of times per long rest equal to its level. You may activate this ability as a reaction whenever a creature speaks to you. You grasp their words with a heightened sense of awareness, allowing you insight into...
I mean, I'm reading it, by the way.
Okay.
So if you're just reading it to me, I can see it.
Yeah, I was just reading it.
Yep.
Guys, D&D is fun.
All right. So I would say that Kane's aura right now is probably going to be bright orange. I think that's fair.
Okay, now I gotta find where he put that. Here.
If only we had Johan here.
Yeah.
If we had Johan here, this would be a much shorter conversation.
Tie a rope to your.
He'd be like, "Rope buddy." I'd be like, "Sorry."
Hold on, everyone. I gotta look at what bright. Do you see bright
So-
orange? Or...
Yeah, so like the innermost orange.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead. I think I can put it all together, but
No, go ahead, Brave. I'm just looking up what it means.
the jailers cannot keep forever locked away. The keys are most likely the creation stones. The darkness cannot hold the void that clamors for release, so they're using this, like, creation annihilation magic combo thing to hold this void together, which is these oozes and aboleth things. The sons of no one will ooze through the cracks of the mountain's wall, which should be whatever's coming out of this thing. The river will engulf the plain and flood the fortress hall. We're gonna be in trouble. Paws and claws of horror's lust again will see the sun, so you know the hidden away things will be out. They'll swim the sky and soar the earth, and in the ocean run, so that they'll overrun everything. They'll be happy that they're out because no death or life. Basically, they're gonna fuck everything. But sterile seedlings fertilized will rise up from the dust and feast upon the world. This all sounds like no bueno.
Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters.
But we have to. It sounds like we have to do something else to seal it away.
Also, Colleen, there's also something nagging at you from a previous part of the poem that you read before even coming to this area. Do you still have that?
I don't think so.
All right, I'll give it to
I
you.
probably do.
I'll give it to you in Discord. I've got it right here.
We'll drive.
Did you find bright orange mint? Did you?
Vigilant.
Did you find it? Did you?
He solved my name.
Oh, fuck. It's full circle.
That was a great reaction. Oh, fuck. Wait.
Well, don't keep
Braveshine.
us in suspense, Braveshine.
Hold
Come
on,
on, man.
I have to read and internalize. It's just the throwback to, like, the beginning.
It's like he's planned everything all along.
This location has existed before the game began. Like this specific location that you guys are in right now.
Yeah, man. This place is great.
So, I guess I'll just read it and you guys can imagine with me, with context. Outside the garden wall lay the child aborted before a flower grew. Its not hand was stretched toward a thorn, its not head craned to the midnight sun. It wailed and roared and rebelled against the arrogance of the roses. Its eyes became a river, questing ever outward, clawing, clutching. From the dark waters rose the many-legged eels. From the dark skies swooped the many-eyed bats. And the river rose up, but the garden was barred by vines of cold steel. The eels became prey for vultures, the bats became carrion for sharks. At last but four remained, above, beneath, beyond, within. The wall of the garden held no meaning for the children of the emptiness, and they went forth to devour the womb which was denied them. The pregnant mother moulders in a tomb of black crystal. Her children scream to be free. Her spawn struggle upstream and seek the light. The earth and sea conspire against them, because they were not meant to be. The hands of giants clasp their throats and hold their heads beneath the water, but the river's surface is not still, the moldy pond not quiescent, and the minds of flies that drink the water are bent to their supplications. They soar as falcons toward the stars and quest the darkness as great squid. The whispers of their benefactors wage war with mortal fancies, to be born, to be free, to desire, to rule, to proliferate, to consume. The uncut mountain clutches them as a chisel and knife. So I think you kind of get what's going on.
Yeah, I do. So, which bright orange mint did you?
Vigilant.
Vigilant?
Yes.
Wait, so you have an ability that can force a mood ring on someone?
Yep.
That's awesome. It's almost as good as hide in plain sight, but not quite.
Alright. So you guys...
And remember your
Also,
second
we could
I would
have
also
whatever
like
we
to
want.
remember
Oh,
what
sorry.
the name of
Quiz.
the game is.
What'd you say?
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I was just going to tell everyone, I would like you all to remember what the name of our game is.
Hey! Hey! I forgot! Because the Discord's, it's different than the... Yeah. Sorry, anyway.
Kane, why don't we just leave this room for the time being, and we'll talk about it in the other room. And we'll hear you out, but let's leave this room. There's a lot of tension. It feels very heavy. Let's leave
It does
this
feel
room.
heavy.
Are you
All right.
attempting to actually... Are you using your ability or are you just asking him? Quiz.
I mean, I'll do it.
Does my ability let
Kane
me...
wants to...
Yeah, well, you can attempt to shift things.
Oh, shit.
I wanted to make sure whether you wanted to use it.
Oh, shift it! Shift! I mean, what? Nothing.
I'm trying to think.
So you can potentially go as many as 2 changes.
Can I shift it to trust?
Yeah, I mean, he's in a heightened emotional state. But yeah, you can potentially shift it that far. He gets a save.
Okay, so it's a save against my spell DC.
Correct.
Make a charisma save game.
I'm not too shabby at charisma.
What's your DC, Quiz?
17.
Okay, so he's safe.
Cinematic as fuck.
All right. That being
Also, I was gonna say, I mean, I'll go with. Yeah, we can talk about this elsewhere. We can have whatever we want, guys.
All right. So as you all sort of gather yourselves to like leave the room and regroup, louder than any that you've heard yet, there is a sharp crack, and the cradle lurches sideways. Beams of light fly across the room in all directions. You hear a shattering sound, and the room goes black. And then...
Oh, well...
And then...
Sorry.
Well, and with the last bits of light that you can see, as these lights that are on the wall slowly fade, one by one, you can see a thin trail of inky black smoke leach out from within the crystal. And then, as you're all sort of stunned for a moment and just starting to regroup yourselves to spring into action, you see a pale light, and you see 3 figures standing at the door, with Fabrizio sort of hanging behind them. A tall, pale-skinned girl with straight black hair, a sandy-haired boy with pale yellow eyes, and a thin, dark-skinned boy with tangled blonde hair. The 3 creation stones, Kirill, Lacidel, and Cenarion. Kirill speaks, her tone commanding and urgent. Quick, come with us. No time to dispute. Do exactly as I say. And that's where we end for tonight.
Cool. We really should investigate that clear stone more.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, I was going to throw this in. I forgot to mention, you actually see her holding that stone in her hand as she says it, and as she finishes that sentence, her hands, she grips it tightly and pulverizes it into a powder.
Well, there go my wishes.
Well, Fallon still has a wish ring if you're interested in Demon Lords.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed. On that note, I'm going to end the recording.
Y'all don't know
Thanks
I have
anyone
a
who's
wish
watching.
ring. Y'all don't know I have a wish